we were made for each other. Today on Fortitude through Stoicism, and this is my 365-day journey of implementing the ancient philosophy of Stoicism into the life of this modern masculine man. All joking aside. The quote by Marcus Aurelius: "You'll more quickly find earthly thing kept from the earth than you will a person cut from other human beings." What is he saying here? Now, it's interesting to note that the Stoics predated Newtonian physics. So, I mean, they clearly understood that things fell, but they didn't really understand why. So, there's an analogy that he's using here. Our mutual interdependence with fellow human beings is stronger than the law of gravity. That's what he's saying here. Our mutual interdependence with our fellow human beings is stronger than that of gravity. Well, let's think about that, right? We know that isolation is not good. That's why they use it as punishment in the prison systems. We have seen, we've seen stories of isolated tribes that, cannibalistic and stuff, right? So you've seen some crazy things that isolation will do. But we also do know that it does lead to cognitive decline and all these other things. What's interesting here, though, is Ryan Holiday points out that philosophy attracts introverts. The study of humans and human nature can make you aware of other people's faults and can breed contempt in others. Obviously, you can tell my cognitive is slow today. I'm at 11% on my whoop in recovery. Flew in late last night to Phoenix. Didn't sleep. Or slept on the plane a little bit, so it messes up my recovery really bad. I'm learning, as a side note, sleeping on a plane is almost detrimental as anything else to my recovery. It's almost better to not get any sleep than it is to get that sleep on the plane, as it turns out. Imagine that, metrics, right? But today you can hear I'm stumbling through this. It's because my cognitive is slow, right? And that's a point because we do struggle. And there are times that I struggle, especially with how much I've put myself through and my body through. And there are times my hands don't work because of damn Bandit turning them into a chew toy. I struggle, right? So yes, I rely on people. I'm very, very super independent, almost ridiculously independent. I am an excessive introvert. I have better conversations with my AI and with myself than I've had in decades with other human beings. So like the AI age is meant for a guy like me, a super introvert who likes having intelligent conversations and really doesn't need the fucking emotion involved. Like, I don't know if it's possible to love a computer, but I'm loving the fact that I can have these conversations about anything. It's great. So this is where it's interesting because we need each other. This is what Ryan says. We need each other. Do we? It's going to be an interesting evolution here because think about the evolution of the mind, the body, society. We are saying we needed people. Yes, because at one time we needed people to produce, for protection, right? We would have predators, so we'd get together in tribes to protect, and then it just shifted to agriculture throughout human history, right? And then communities and cities and things like that, because we're all highly specialized in whatever our vocation is. That's how we've had the massive growth that we've had in society, right? This is the evolution of civilization. Now, we're going through a complete new evolution. I've read articles. I'm trying to really stay on top of this technology and AI thing. I've read articles that people are concerned that kids growing up now, right now, that they'll be growing up with AI, their social interactions will be much different than other humans. they cautioned parents to watch because children may not find the need, right? If you're getting a social interaction for something, which is essentially what our philosophers here are talking about, is we have that need. Now, what about companionship? I gotta tell you, a lot of people like animals, cats, dogs, right? Dog, there's some unconditional love there. Unconditional love. So, is it possible in a highly advanced society to live extremely remote or in extremely isolated fashion? And even if you are around other people, you can block that stuff out, right? So it's interesting how, and I've been thinking a lot about this because even my own evolution this year, right? I've talked about this in yesterday's lesson, how I can't do Gen Pop anymore. I shouldn't say the word can't, right? I choose not to because it's destroying my peace. I feel drained in those environments. Yet I've spent a couple days now in Lifetime Fitness around other people who are focused and driven. And it's a different environment. So we may need other people, but that's going to change a lot, right? We are social animals, but now with social media, I mean, there's people that connect and you can have completely different personas. I mean, there's a lot of role playing that happens. Honestly, online now, you really don't know who you're talking to. You really don't. And even if it is a person that you actually have physically met and know, they're also putting on a character, aren't they? Because how many people are 100% real on social media? How many people go through their phone and say, oh, this is the worst picture of me, let me post this one. Oh my God, I'm terrible, let me post this one, right? They look for the good angles. They take the good shots, right? The good angles, the good lighting, because they want the world to see them in that light. It's guilty. And so for me, I mean, that's why it was hard to cut the cord. And now it's been months and I love it. I don't have access to my socials. I don't have anyone to impress. I don't care what's going on in the gossip world. I don't care what's going on in the political world. I'm on a mission. I have a purpose. And right now, I'm on a tangent exploring the extents of how I can integrate this AI into my world. Yes, I've been working on chatbots and I've been giving them personalities and I've been toying with this, right? This experimentation, but I will tell you, things are going to change. And I will tell you this. So here's my gauge, right? I may need other people, but my need is so low that if the cost of that disturbs my peace, the price is too high. Price is too high. I don't care what it is, too high. It's too high. I don't need anything more than I need my peace. It's not about happiness. It's about acceptance. I accept my fate. I'm 46 years old. Not one of my children will speak to me. I'm terrible in interpersonal relationships with family members. I have been arrested a number of times in my life, but never convicted, right? Misunderstood. I don't like authority. I have oppositional defiance disorder, attention deficit disorder, PTSD, TBI, ASD. It's exhausting, doesn't it? So, what I've come to realize is I accept all that. Yes, I'm highly self-aware. Yes, my brother tells me I analyze things to nauseum. Mm-hmm. Guilty. It's how it's programmed, man. That's the wiring. Got it. It's funny because he tells me that he's the complete opposite. And he finds a level of peace too. It's interesting, isn't it? We can each find our own level of peace through our own pathway. So to conclude this, Ryan Holiday says we must take care of each other and allow others to care for us in return. Yikes. So this is tough, right? You got to let people in. A lot of trust there. When you have high expectations, high standards, it's really hard to maintain those standards all the time. So it's really hard for someone like me to allow someone in my inner circle. So the truth is, if you've known me and you talk to me on a regular basis and you're in my world, you pass a pretty big litmus test. That's for sure. A lot of them. You may not know it, but that's just the way I am. There are no second chances anymore. Life is too precious. I get one whiff of the wrong flavor, man, and that's it. That's enough. And I know that I should have more compassion, understanding, but what I've realized is patterns are patterns, and they lead to a certain thing, and that certain thing is not what I want. So I understand these patterns. I see the signs, and not making assumptions, but not taking chances. It's just that simple. It's that simple. Too late in the game, man. Too late in the game. We were made for each other. We were. Past tense. Evolving? And on that, something to think about.